Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. It is Friday, our season kicks off tomorrow. Today is a busy day on the channel, so if you are not yet subscribed, please make sure you are subscribed, turn on the bell notifications so that you do not miss the first match preview of the season and my Premier League predictions for the 22-23 season. Today, we've got Chelsea news here. We're going to be talking Azpilicueta extension, Levi Colwill, Marc Cucurella, Aubameyang, and I think that's about it for now. But we're going to begin by talking about Cesar Azpilicueta. Chelsea have been hunting for centre-backs all summer long. We have successfully signed Kalidou Koulibaly. Marc Cucurella is about to sign and probably will be used in the left centre-back position. And Chelsea have extended Azpilicueta's contract, or Azpilicueta has extended his Chelsea contract for 2 additional years. This is good news. I have loved Azpilicueta at his time at Chelsea, 10 years, and even though he might not be the same kind of consistent level of top class quality that we saw a couple of years ago, still incredibly reliable, absolutely knows what it means to be a Chelsea player, gives absolutely everything for the shirt. And I think this year, we'll see Azpilicueta used a lot in that right centre-back position. Reece James is undoubtedly the #1 right wing-back at Chelsea Football Club. And because we've struggled with certain targets across the back line, even if we do go out and get Wesley Fofana, who Fofana is pushing for this move now. He wants to leave, he wants to come to Chelsea, he wants Champions League football, and is a top-class defender. So if Wesley Fofana comes in, Azpilicueta signing that new deal for 2 additional years means that the centre-back issue is resolved. And the brilliant news about Levi Colwill is that the signing of Cucurella, at one stage, it looked as though Levi Colwill would be going to Brighton on what could have been a permanent deal. Chelsea have made it very, very clear that we do not want Levi Colwill to be sold. We see Colwill as a big player for the future. If you've watched any of Levi Colwill, you will know just how good this guy already is, with the potential to be something very special. Levi Colwill is going on loan to Brighton this season, which, in my opinion, is probably the perfect move. Graham Potter is a very good manager, very, very tactically astute. Colwill's going to learn a lot. And I think because Shane Duffy looks as though he's about to be leaving Brighton, I think Levi's going to get more than enough minutes in the Premier League, playing for a club who I don't think are going to go down. Little precursor for prediction that we're going to do in the predictions video later. Brighton will be okay. I think the fact that they've lost Bissouma and now Cucurella to us, 2 of, if not their 2 best players, but I believe in Graham Potter, and I think Levi Colwill's going to have a big season. And if you don't know much about him now, I think come the end of this year, you are going to know about Levi Colwill. Chelsea don't want to let him go. We're not letting him go on a permanent. It's a loan to a good standard Premier League club, which for me, he's absolutely brilliant. Let's talk a little bit now about Marc Cucurella. The announcement is expected anytime right now. The fee is something I want to discuss with you guys a little bit here. 55 million plus add-ons that could see the deal go to over 60 million pounds. That is a hell of a lot of money. And that tells me, I've seen a lot of takes where people are saying like, well, we're going and buying another left wing back when we've got countless other left backs at the club. I don't think Cucurella is being bought in to be a left wing back. Yes, with Ben Chilwell's injury, you never know if any of these are going to reoccur. So Cucurella, brilliant left wing back cover, but I do honestly think that we are going to see Cucurella used in the left centre-back position. What Tony Rudiger did so well was his ball progression. Tony Rudiger could pick passes between the lines. We have signed Kalidou Koulibaly, who one of Koulibaly's best stats, other than coming in, lunging in with brilliant slide tackles, winning the ball, also being a massive unit, is his ability to break the lines of the opposition, especially in the Premier League, especially when teams come to Stamford Bridge. What do they like to do? They like to sit back. They like to allow Chelsea to press. And because we've not been clinical enough going forward, quite often Chelsea's fruits of the labour doesn't come from players taking people on. It comes from passes from the centre-backs, breaking the lines, finding Mason Mount's in pocket of spaces, Kai Havertz, players like this. And Cucurella is brilliant at that. He's also good at taking players on. So what we saw, used a lot by, I think, Sheffield United with Chris Wilder a couple of seasons ago, we saw these overlapping runs from the centre halves. And yes, it's not the first time we've ever seen it, but it was very, very dominant that season when Sheffield United did so well in that debut year. I can imagine we're going to see something similar with Cucurella down that left-hand side. So when Chelsea are attacking, a lot of the impetus from opposition defence is going to be trying to sterilise that left side with Cucurella and Chilwell working together, which leaves then obviously Reece James on the right with hopefully bucket to space, tons of assists. I think this Cucurella signing is brilliant business for Chelsea. And I think with Azpi signing a new deal, Cucurella coming in to be used potentially as a left centre-back with Chalobah, Silva, Koulibaly already there, I think our defensive problems are resolved. Let me know in the comments down below if you think Azpi extending, Cucurella, Koulibaly, is that a solution to what looked a few weeks ago like a serious problem? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about that one. Wesley Fofana, Leicester not interested at this moment in time. Chelsea's opening bid supposedly was around 60 million. Rejected. Leicester want the 80 million. Wesley Fofana has been posting various things on social media too, pretty much just trying to instigate and formulate this move for himself. Chelsea really, really want the player. As of right now, nothing has been done. It's not going to be done before the first game of the season, but over the next week or so and over the coming days, I think we will see Chelsea keep pushing. If we sign Fofana, then you could argue that we're even a bit too stacked in defence, and then we start to change the idea potentially of Cucurella being left centre-back, and it could simply be that he's going to be back up to Ben Chilwell, which I'm not going to complain about that. The only thing is the price. It's a little bit steep, but we'll get over it. Marcus Alonso runs down the wing for me. Does he run down the wing for you? Don't think he's going to be running down the wing for Chelsea much longer. Marcus Alonso is close to the move to Barcelona. Barcelona didn't manage to get Azpi, but Marcus Alonso looks as though he is going to be a new Barcelona player. With Alonso, it's always been a similar story. 1 week, he scores a winning goal, scores a massive goal, scores against Spurs whenever he wants to. The next week, he's complaining and shouting at Frank Lampard and storming off and sitting on the bus at half-time. Marcus Alonso has been a Marmite player for Chelsea, and if you don't know what Marmite is, you either love it or you hate it. Marcus Alonso, I'm not going to lie, I've really enjoyed his time at Chelsea. Part of me thought maybe this season we could give him a go as a striker. It's been something we've been craving. I think a lot of it is just a bit of a joke because he can strike a ball incredibly well. He's got a brilliant shot, one of the best at the club. But it looks as though he's on his way to Barcelona. Speaking of Barcelona, Chelsea are pursuing Frenkie De Jong. Yes, we bought Chukwuemeka from Aston Villa, but Frenkie De Jong doesn't want to leave Barcelona, but Chelsea are really keen on the player. If we sign Frenkie De Jong, then this window starts to seriously look legit. You then go and have a little look at Pierre, Emerick, Aubameyang, who is reportedly open to a move to Chelsea with Robert Lewandowski coming in. There's questions about Aubameyang's playing time at Barcelona. Chelsea are interested. He's an Arsenal guy and he's still not the youngest. His record under Thomas Tuchel was absolutely phenomenal. And when we talk about big strikers, you know, age at this point could be something that Chelsea need. We've got a very, very young squad across the field. We've got young players breaking through, fighting for positions. And Aubameyang's done it in the Premier League. He's done it against us in the past as well. So as long as the fee isn't astronomical, I think signing Aubameyang would be brilliant for Chelsea. I think he's probably past his best now for sure, but there is still pace there. There's a brilliant finisher. He's a natural leader. And I think it would be an excellent signing where Chelsea do need to buy a striker. As much as we can get excited about the signings we're already seeing, solving the defensive issue, pushing for Wesley Fofana, I do think that Chelsea need another striker. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, let me know your thoughts on that one in the comments down below. Trying to keep the news as often as I can. As I said, this week I'm back now for the season. But at the same time, a lot of the stories are very similar. There is a lack of speed in a lot of the bigger stories that have been going on for a while. The Fofana deal. A lot of teams are trying to draw blood out of Chelsea by just bulking at prices, keeping absolutely secure with what they value certain players at when they're under contract. And we just got to hope that Chelsea don't overpay, because at the moment, it's looking like a very expensive window. We've seen it fail in the past. We've also seen it succeed. And at the moment, Chukwuemeka, Slanina, Koulibaly, Raheem Sterling, Cucurella about to come through as well. It's heating up. I'm excited. We've got Everton tomorrow away. Not going to be easy. I think Everton will struggle this year, but opening day of the season, Frank Lampard versus Chelsea, Goodison Park. I'm absolutely buzzing for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching today. As I said at the beginning, there is more content coming your way, so make sure you are subscribed to the George Benson Football channel. Come on, you Blues.